Hi, it's GramMoose. Tonight we're going to read a story that is called Don't Get Lost. It is by Pat Hutchinson. And in the front of this book, she dedicates it to Aiden. So, hi Aiden, Grandma loves you. Let's begin. Little Piglet had just finished his breakfast. "Can I go for a walk across the fields?" he asked his mother. "Yes," said his mother, "but don't get lost. And be back in time for dinner." So here we have some piggies, and they're in the yard. Little Piglet passed Little Lamb and her mother. Little Lamb had just finished her breakfast as well. "I'm going for a walk across the fields," said Little Piglet. "Can I go with Piglet?" asked Little Lamb. "Yes," said her mother, "but don't get lost and be back in time for dinner." So now he's taking his little lamb friend. Little Piglet and Little Lamb passed Little Calf and her mother, and Little Foal and his mother. "We're going for a walk across the fields," said Piglet and Little Lamb. "Can we go with Piglet and Little Lamb?" Little Calf and Little Foal asked their mothers. "Yes," said their mothers, "but don't get lost and be back in time for dinner." So Little Piglet and Little Lamb, Little Calf and Little Foal went out of the farmyard and into the fields. What do you think is going to happen? They went into a field with an apple tree in it. Big, bright, red apples hung from the branches. Little Piglet loved apples, but he didn't eat any because he had had his breakfast. So Little Piglet, Little Lamb, Little Calf, and Little Foal chased one another round and round the tree until they felt dizzy. And when they'd had enough of that, see the apple tree? What do you think they're going to do next? They went into the next field, which had bales of sweet hay stacked in it. Little Calf and Little Foal loved hay, but they didn't eat any because they had had their breakfast. So Little Piglet, Little Lamb, Little Calf, and Little Foal played hide and seek among the bales until they were covered in hay. And when they'd had enough of that, don't you think that looks like lots of fun, playing in the hay? They went into the next field, which had rows of freshly dug, juicy turnips in it. Little Lamb loved turnips, but she didn't eat any because she had just had her breakfast. So Little Piglet, Little Lamb, Little Calf, and Little Foal raced up and down the rows of turnips until their legs ached. And when they'd had enough of that, I don't think I've ever ran through the turnips. They went into the next field and splashed in the pond until they were soaking wet. Now that sounds like lots of fun. Have you ever splashed in the pond? Then Little Piglet said, "I'm hungry. It must be time for dinner." Little Lamb and Little Calf and Little Foal said, "So are we. We're very hungry." So they set off for home. "We could eat some turnips on the way home," said Little Lamb. "I love turnips." So they start back to the farm. But when they went into the next field, there weren't any turnips. "We could eat some hay on the way back," said Little Calf and Little Foal. "We love hay." What do you think is going to happen in the hayfield? But when they went into the next field, there wasn't any hay. "We could eat some apples on the way back," said Little Piglet. "I love apples." What do you think? Are there going to be apples on that tree? But when they went into the next field, there weren't any apples. "Oh dear," said Little Lamb and Little Calf and Little Foal. "We should have come through the field with turnips in it, and a field with hay in it, and a field with apples in it. We must have come the wrong way." And they all felt very frightened and very hungry and very lost. Do you think they're lost? Let's find out. But then Little Piglet saw the farmyard, and waiting for them were Little Calf's mother, Little Foal's mother, Little Lamb's mother, and Little Piglet's mother. It's always exciting to know you see Mom. Oops, the pages are stuck. "We're glad you're back in time for dinner," they all said. "We've just freshly dug juicy turnips," said Little Lamb's mother. "And sweet new hay," said Little Calf's mother and Little Foal's mother. "And big red apples," said the Little Piglet's mother. See all the food? "And we're glad you didn't get lost." The end. I've eaten apples, and I've eaten turnips. I might have chewed on some hay, but I don't think I'd eat hay, unless it's wheat. We make flour from wheat. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Don't get lost. Good night. Brush your teeth. And remember, Grandma loves you even though she's not near.